All right, for today's session, we're going to cover our next part of the Laravel. All right, previously we have covered MVC, right? Model View Controller. And we also have covered on the view, which by using route, right, and plat. And we have covered control, how to generate the controller, right? All right. For this part, we're going to cover how you can manipulate the controller, right, from the route to controller. Okay. So we have in this part we're going to have like we make a controller. Okay, and I will make a HTML form, which is we gather some data from the user, right, and pass to controller, and controller will display those information. But for the future, you can manipulate the controller to insert into database. Okay, which we're going to cover in next session. Okay, so in order to do that, we need to have a route, right, with the post, right? Okay, then how to get data, right? How to get data from the form and to display. We need some function. All right. First of all, we need to make a controller, right? Previously, we have covered how to make controller. Just simply, you just type PHP artisan max colon and then controller name, right? Just okay. Again, just go into your terminal, right, or DOS prompt, and then you can type here. Make sure you're inside the Laravel folder, and then you just type PHP artisan next controller, right? For example, I write here my controller, right? So when you have create a controller, I have a user controller here. So it will automatically create the user controller, right? I have shown you before. All right. Next, we need to do some modification in the controller, right? Which we need to add some function, right? For this function, we just need to get data from the form and then display. So I just simply name it get data, right, with the parameter of the request. Okay, and then I have the variable of reg. REQ, right, rates, right. So then I just, this one, I will explain later on. This is for validation part, sorry. And then I just return the rate, right? What's the input? Just display everything from the form. All right. So what it will look like in the controller, right? So when you have, it will automatically generated the controller until here, and this one you need to add your own function. Okay, so the function will return. The middle part is the validation part, which is I will explain later on. Okay, so every code is everything is already included inside the PowerPoint. You can download the PowerPoint. All right. So we have function, right, with return everything, return the input. All right. Next, we need to make a route, right? So we need to make a route where in the route, right, you need to import the library, right? The library. What's library? The controller library, right? So controller, you just write use app http folder, controller folder, and then your controller names, right? So where you need to put it, you need to put inside the web.php, right? Just put here, right? Right. So this one, how to include. Right? Normally, everything that we want to use, we need to include. Right. So how to include? Just use. Right. Then we need to make a route. Right. So we call this post route. Right. Post route. Okay. Any question so far? Any question? Any question? No?
No,
Right?
no, sir.
Right. Okay. So in this route, we make two routes. Okay. One for post, one for view. Right. For the post, we need to post the data into a controller. Right. So we post into the controller. The function name is get data. Right. For view, we want to view the form, right? The form that that we're going to create, right? I've created, right? I've created the form. Okay, so this is the route, right? To route. Okay, so before we can view the page or the form, we need to create the form, of course, right? So this form I just named login. Okay, the form name is users.black.html. Right? I've created here users.black.html. This is just a simple form. You have a form with the action. Action, if we go to the users, where users will direct you to the controller method of the post. Right? In this form, we have input of text username and password for user password, and then you can submit. All right. And for the Laravel framework, every form you are required to have at CSRF. Right. I hope you have read something on the description. It's a token that required by the framework. Without this at CSRF, your form will not be working. It's different if you make by normal PHP, you does not require this. All right. So now you have a form, right? I have also posted the form, right? It's a simple form. You can make a very simple form, right? So next, let's test, right? Test it. So just go localhost. Make sure your Laravel is all right. So when we have created the controller with the resources, this is my controller with the resources, which is I have shown you. Can you see this, right? So it will create automatically with the function of index, function of create, function of store, function of show, function of edit, function of update, function of destroy automatically. So later on, if you need to use any other function, you can make a route to use that function, right? As we using this, we are using user controller, this function of the get data. Right? For this one, we just use one function from the user controller in the class, right? The function of the get data. All right.